You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by demetrius-reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius-Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, again, welcome to the show. You are listening to VRL, that is Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Deanie. We have another special guest for you guys, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And as a matter of fact, text your buddies, family members, or even share it on social media right now and let them know that we are about to dive deep into another interview. Before I bring my guest on, I do want to say that, there is something better. Consider for a moment all of the valuable achievements which have come about because someone wasn't satisfied with the way things were. Throughout history, great leaps forward have been made by people who were seeking something better. Of course, there is a dark side of that, like jobs lost because of innovations, but time after time, something wasn't working as well as it could have or fast enough. There was a problem, there were problems, shortcomings, issues that needed addressing, and someone addressed them. Someone saw what was wrong, envisioned something better, and then made it happen. What we think of as progress is really a continuing positive response to dissatisfaction and frustration with the way things are. When things are not perfect, there is a way, or there is always a way to make them better. Anytime you experience frustration or dissatisfaction, see it as a clear signal to take a positive step towards something better. Your frustration is telling you there's a better way, challenging you to make it real. Life is filled with frustrations, and because of them, it can continue getting better. When you feel strongly that there has to be a better way, there is, and you have the opportunity to find it. Take that from me, Coach Deanie. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
All right. Again, welcome to the show. You're listening to VRL, that's Vigilantes Radio Live, right here on iHeartRadio, and I am your host, Deanie. Our interviews are designed to go beyond music, news, books, art, acting, films, technology, education, entrepreneurship, entertainment, and sometimes even past that thing that we call the ego. Our interviews are designed to go behind the scenes and into the minds of these awesome human beings. The ones who are out there giving it their all for me, for you, and for the world. Well, welcome to VRL, where we bring you the most fascinating guests and insightful conversations. And today we have the honor of hosting Darrell Lopes, a remarkable author and explorer whose life is filled with extraordinary adventures. Known for his profound discoveries and captivating storytelling, Darrell has unearthed ancient mysteries and explored celestial phenomena. So get ready for an explosive and enlightening conversation with the incredible Darrell Lopes. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi. Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Fine, brother. Doing good. Love that name of yours, Demetrius. That means lover of the earth. Yeah, and it doesn't get any better than that, brother. That's true.
Yeah. I have 6 children to test to that, so that fertility thing has definitely stuck to me. So, Mr. Darrell, man, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Could you
Thank you.
Telling our listeners a bit about yourself and what you are currently focused on in your journey?
Well, yeah, what I'm focused on now is getting this word out in this book that I have of this eyewitness of Planet Nibiru crossing back in 2007. You know, I truck drive for 39 and a half years. I'm retired now, but I've seen a lot, you know, and done a lot into archaeological work and stuff, freelance, and being able to meet some great people, great teachers that would help me to learn and understand things, that a lot of things aren't really what they seem to be, you know, and there's just a lot of cool stuff out there going on, different archaeological sites and stuff, and hunting treasure and stuff like that, and just getting involved in that. This Nibiru, this book, I just packed it all in back in November of 2022. Just put my 3 Bigfoot encounters in there, 2 star traps, one right out in front of the house here, 50 feet, so away from the house. So they definitely know who I am. 2000 was the best one, with a beautiful big star trap, looked like an Indian arrowhead, on the first week of 2000, out fucking doing my first load of the year, headed for Arizona with the delivery. And that just turned, it was like a comet, and then it turned around and came at me and like pulled me over to this one little spot where there was nowhere else to go over for miles, and it knew it. And it just blew my mind, because it wasn't, if I pulled over, and I was such a young Christian at that time, you know, I've been a Christian for 42 years and trusting God, and I'm glad I got saved. He saved me first, and then all this other neat stuff would happen with UFOs and understanding the ancient Sumerian texts, Zechariah Sitchin's work, you know. But that craft that I saw in 2000 wasn't one of these pizza-shaped, but triangular-shaped, man-made UFOs. This baby looked like it came straight out of Battlestar Galactica. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. And it just, I was furious. I got out of the truck and I was ready to fight, because I'm a Christian warrior, you know. And I was furious that what they were doing to women and kidnapping people, doing all this stuff. And when I got out, that took about 3 seconds of anger, and they hit me with a hologram in my mind of the 3 pyramids of Giza. And it just gave me such an overwhelming peace that they've been around so long, and they wasn't what I had thought of what it was all about and who they were. And yeah, there's some bad ones, but there's also some on our side too, you know. So that's all coming out now, you know. So I put the book together, and it's been my gift to find ancient sites, like back in President Obama's Peace Award Day, the same day of the Norway spiral. I was up hiking. They were repairing this house. We bought this ranch up here in the gold rush country, and I was living with my mother-in-law for 6 months while they were repairing this. So I get out there on a hike, and it just got to the point where it calls me, you know, and I can walk over and then go to these stones, you know, look at these stones better, you know, walk quieter, you're making too much noise, quieter, walk soft. Learn how to listen and open your spirit up, you know. Okay, move this grass away. And here's these ancient symbols that are there from a 2,100-year-old mound builder site in Casta Valley right there off of Lake Chabot Road. All that's in my Facebook pictures. They're in the book, but they're not color. I tried to keep the book down, the pricing, so people could afford it, you know. Well, it's less than going to McDonald's, you know. And they did a fantastic job on the Audible book. Just beautiful people. The guy was so energized, and that's cheap. And I need help to get this word out, because I am an eyewitness of Planet Nibiru crossing. Coming home from Arizona when I unloaded, you know, in 2011. And man, it was just beautiful. I saw the red-winged globe off to the west. I saw this horrible black billowing nightmare of a satellite come down low and then come up, fill the entire sky and roll over the sun. The large swirling gold clouds of gold particles, electrically charged, swirling with it, that was blown off of Nibiru and riding up in this vortex of the satellites. And then there was the two suns that was first, it caused such a parallel time slip, and even after a week after when I got home, I had a parallel time slip. I wrote a chapter in the book that my clocks had changed on me here. And I ended up speaking to a woman that was walking down my hallway, kind of freaked me out there a little bit, And I ended up going down the stairs, and I said, I know I saw what I saw. I mean, I was looking in the closets and stuff for her, and it was really making the hair stand up on the back of my neck, And so I went downstairs, I turned around and looked up the stairs. Someone told me, just call out to her. I said, are you there? And she said, yes, I am. And you could tell her voice was in another veil. And so a week later, I hear Whitley Greenberg come on the Art Bell show talking to, it's George Norrie then. Art had quit then. And he told George Norrie that I was here with some guests in my house, and we were getting ready to leave, and the clocks changed. And then all of a sudden, they just switched back, and it freaked everybody out. There was such a heavy-duty vortex parallel time hitting and that's what created those two suns that I saw that everybody was seeing back in 2011. And it's just so much. I don't want to talk over you. I get going. I ramped up. I've been hanging on to this for 2011, trying to contact shows and everything. And the bottom line, my brother, I mean, I even swear in my book, I swear on my mother's and my sister's sacred graves that I am telling you the truth. Everything in that book about locating treasure or seeing a black dragon protecting an Aztec underwater chamber that we were working on, the archaeological stuff. It's all true. And there's so much, that's out there, and it's starting to come out more now, So I just felt led to do the book and get it out there, being with all this UFO stuff going on now. People know this stuff is real, but the cool part is they had me way back in 2006, 2007, up on my roof. I designed a handheld sextant and was shooting the equinoxes. And they were off. So I got a hold of my friend Robert Ghostwolf, who was on the Coast to Coast AM. It was a big guest on there with, Art Bell. And I was good friends with his wife and stuff. And she knew exactly what I saw. I was shook up when I came home. And I wasn't the only one that saw that. I slowed that truck right down to 45 miles an hour, and another truck had pulled up alongside me, slowed his truck down, and we were both just staring at each other because we were like shocked. I'm getting chills just thinking about that day. I need no notes to talk to people. I just put myself back in that day, And he looked at me like, what the heck just happened? And my CB, I didn't have one in there. I had a small handheld CB, like I tell in the book. It was dead batteries. The power cord was buried in the Peterbilt, And I just shook my head yes. And I was such at peace because I knew, Danny, what was going on deep down, but I was still like in shock. And it got worse when I got home because everything was all falling in line around the Hopi prophecies and stuff. I'm in their prophecies twice. Yeah. One about going to the one who made it to the east and touched his head to the earth and returned back to his people. That was one issue that took place. I won't go into great detail. And another one is being one of the ones that would find Montezuma's treasure. And it's a prophecy about that. It's in a treasure magazine. I still have the clipping from a 109-year-old Hopi chief. So there's just been so much going on. I need to get this out because I can give you an eye description up close. This wasn't something you needed a telescope with, my brother. This was in your face, and it was happening, and it went up and rolled over that sun, and everything was gone in minutes, and it just came and went. It won't be back for another 3,000. I got it at 168 years, somewhere in that, not 3,600 years. I could be wrong, but I think time slip might change a little bit, and it'll be here sooner next time than before. I got bad feelings deep down about what might happen next time, because, this planet is not the original planet. It's the same planet, but it got the heck beat out of it by one of those satellites that I was describing you, that black, billowing, horrible-looking nightmare. And it was so close, my brother. I could see the clouds just like they were our clouds here. That's how close. Started out real small coming at me. And it comes low and from the south. And then it came up and rose up, and it went like in 4 or 5 segments, and pretty soon it filled the entire sky, filled with these like lightning going through these black, like looking into a volcano. Absolutely horrible, stunning. That was the scary thing that just really was such an eye-opener. And I need to be talking to scientists and stuff like that. I can pass any lie detector test. I was a successful businessman, just a humble guy, freelance archaeologist, prospector, pleasure hunter. I live a simple life up here at the ranch, and take care of my deer that are here, and I would never make up a cockamamie story, but I can't get out. I can't get out with anybody. I was glad to get a hold of you. You sound like a great guy, too.
Thank you.
I love your name. I looked it up. I thought, oh, my God. It's connected with the Native Americans, too, somehow. Have you ever thought about the Native Americans and the connection of the earth and stuff?
Yeah, so my great-grandfather was a full-blooded Native American.
Yeah.
And I looked into my mom's family, and my great-great-great-grandfather was adopted, after the slavery years. So history kind of falls off there, and there's
Yeah. Oh, I love it, brother. I love history so much. I'm born September 11th, 1956. My cousin was the San Lorenzo historian for years. She's elderly now in a rest home. And she wrote some books and put me in it about doing some diggings and stuff at my great-grandpa's place. But history, the past, will help us understand the future. And this is where we all need to be connected together, from the East Coast to the West Coast, and start to come together in love and strength so we can overdo this evil that's trying to take our land from us. You know what I mean? And I've been a Christian for years, but I don't go to church much. He's in my heart, I don't preach at people, and I practice this one thing: thou shalt not judge. That means I'm forced to love everybody. Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, I don't care who you are, saved, unsaved. We are the family of God, and we're starting all to figure this out more and more, that we're a family. And we need to come together, and our energy, and you have the ability to change timelines. It's really a wonderful, it is a struggle. Like I was listening to you when I enjoyed your guest towards the end of it. I come on early, and it was just hitting me. It's like, we're all connected, and it's just a good time to be alive. I'd love to do a movie, a really good movie it's not so much the money thing, but I can describe everything. And when you see that on the screen and at home or at the movie theaters, it's going to rock your world.
That's what I was thinking, Darrell. I was like, this should be a movie. I was reading the preface to your book. I was like, man, I always...
Yes, honest to God, it's more than just the money. I have everything. My home's paid for. I was just like you, a hard worker, and wanted to do the right thing and stay grounded to God and Mother Earth and take care of the earth and stuff, getting emotional again. My heart opens up, I love people. I love God. I love beautiful people.
Those are the 2 commandments that we need to keep. Love God, love people. And I promise you, Darrell, all of our problems would go away. Racism would cease to exist.
Yeah.
All these conflicts, the red versus the blue, the left versus the right, all of that would cease to exist.
Yeah.
We just follow.
Yeah. Right. it was kind of tainted in the beginning. No, the Bible's real. It's all real in there. But there's some things that were changed, the things that were pulled out. That's why I wrote the book, because it's like my theme in the book is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, because that's Yeshua. You know, don't throw him out. God loves us so much. He did bring his son. The Cherokee even talked about him showing up and healing their land. The place was going to be destroyed way back in the day, probably the 1800s or further back. And he came to him and he stopped this horrible flood from destroying and killing everybody. And they turned around and looked at him and said, and this is in their stuff, you know, they don't make up stories. You know, all of their stories are true if you have the spirit to listen to them and understand them. And he just said, I don't care what you call me what you want. So they said, we'll call you the God of wind and water. That's the Cherokee. So people say that Jesus Christ wasn't crucified. I don't buy that at all. I know how vicious the world can be. But there's also a lot of good, too, you know. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but, you know, there are so many beautiful people I've met in the trucking years of being on the road. 95% of everybody I met was beautiful people. Once in a great while, you meet a cookie that's having issues, you know, no big deal. You move on, pray for them. But there's so many like-minded people. And so I'm trying to reach out now, you know, to the young people, too. You know, don't lose your faith. I was saved first for a reason, to tell you that, yes, God does love you. Yes, he did walk here. I'm not saying go to church. I'm not even saying read your Bible all the time. I'm asking you to do what he said to do, to listen to him, ask him in your heart and mean it, and then see what happens and trust him. You know, open your heart, because it's what it is. This is why I was ready to take on that starship. How crazy can you be? It's like, no, it's not me. It's not Darrell Lopes. It's God's power working in him. And you can try to shoot your lasers at me or everything else you want. It's just going to bounce off if God wants me home with him, if not. But it totally changed my whole way of thinking when they showed me that pyramid, the 3 Giza pyramids, you know, and I've done work in Chaco Canyon and, you know, after the treasure days with the Montezuma treasure thing, helping the Dillman family out, you know. I love that old blind man. He took me under his wing and taught us how to read the ancient hieroglyphs, Spanish conquistadorian hieroglyphs, and we did find what we found, but what happened was it all went sour when the gold started coming out and stuff. It went all bad, and all I wanted was a finder's fee. I know it sounds funny, but I'm like an Indiana Jones guy. It needs to be for the kids. Just like that site up there, I was telling you about the Vortex site there in Casta Valley. The ancient symbols in the ground. There's lots of symbols still buried under the ground in that ancient place up there, 2,100-year-old mound builder site. I don't know, it was one of my Dowsing shots that said it was a connection with the Maya and the mound builders, and it is. There's pictures in there of a tree that was twisted. It's kind of like Sacsayhuaman in the Peruvian mountains. Those are jump rooms. Those are places where the underground way lines work so hard and strong with you and me and upstairs, God, everything, and even the star builders. They rent all that up, and Manco Inca used to be able to sit in those places there and talk with them. And they tell them about the future, how it's coming, what's going to happen, whether Viracocha is going to show up, and your family and everything's going to come to an end. But that's what these are. That's what Sacsayhuaman is, a giant communication site. If you go to the YouTube, the living stones of Sacsayhuaman, and go to 10 minutes, 53 seconds, you'll see like a drone shot, you know, from wherever, how high up, and it's all, the site is all lit up in blue, the buildings, and tell me what you're looking at. That's a power site. All those zigzag walls and everything. They were not carved. They were not chiseled. So the technology they have is so powerful that they can just create it. And that is why I'm getting to say this on this one, I'm grateful for. Rob Lazar said when he was working at Area 51, when he went inside that little craft he was working on, it looked like everything was molded slightly, like it was just made in mold. That's what they do, you know. And they can create things. They create all that stuff. It's almost the only thing I can think in my mind is it looked like maybe a pink clear light where you saw, and it was like their instruments in their ship would create those stone, and just because it's altered. That stone is not the same exact stone as the quarry that it came from. They've already tested it. It is altered a little bit, and it's different. So they add things to it, and they made all that their communication site. So anyway, I'll go back to just saying, you know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. This is just going to get more and more complex as we go along. And take it from somebody who is saved, who screwed his life up with drugs and everything else when I was young. I come from a broken family. I love my family. They were hard workers, but there was a bunch of garbage came in, and it just wrecked everything. And then I went through my rebellious stage in my 18s, 19s, 20s, you know. And I came to that point where, you know, I gave my life to him, and he just said, wait just a minute, you know. You are a spirit being. Young people, get away from drugs. Those are for people in a hospital. You are spirit beings. You have the ability to change timelines, our future, for the seventh generations to come. Please, think about it, you know, and I'll let you take it from there, you know, so...
So, Darrell, I know you mentioned that you were a spiritual warrior, and we need more of those, especially nowadays, as we come close to the end here. But when seeing all of this stuff, uncovering artifacts, seeing clouds coming at you, you know, did the government ever approach you, or were you ever afraid for your life?
I'm not afraid of it because I know I put my hands in Christ, and that's what my power is, and so I'm not afraid of anything because and that's not a foolishness. That's just, I know how powerful God is. This is a footstool. But yes, I've had things come over my computer. We're watching what you do. We know how much money you have. Oh, dude, don't you mind me of children. Leave me alone. You know, you're not going to stand away of anything. There's going to be no nuclear explosions. They've already come over these sites and shut them down. Hell, I got them flew up here right in front of my back house at 3:30 in the morning. I don't know if that was good or bad because I got hit in the stomach down below working my tractor, building a road in the back here. It hit me with a scalar weapon. It come from the 2 o'clock position. Boy, I got sick, brother, I'll tell you. I was sick for I don't know how long, a week or two. I had black and clear glue running out of my side and stuff. I was wiped out. And then the son of a gun shows up at 3:30 in the morning. So I was furious. I thought, what are you doing waking me up? I'm just starting to feel better, you know. And I went to the window and peeked out and I go, what the heck? The thing's floating off the ground 4 feet. And it actually looked just like the one in Close Encounters of the Third Kind when they rose up behind the truck when he's at the railroad crossing, whatever, in the beginning. And the papers are flying all over and the maps in his truck, Richard Dreyfuss, you know, and he's scared to death, and all of a sudden he doesn't know where it's all coming from, and it rises up behind the truck. Exact same size, exact same 4 lights, big basketball lights, 2 and 2, except for there were no colored lights, and it had a ring of small LED lights around it, like a cool car grill or something. And then this gigantic flash, and poof, it was gone. And I thought, you little son of a guns, now you're moving with, I don't know if you're here to watch me suffer, or you were here to say, we're watching out, we're taking care of you. So my thoughts are still open on it, you know. But no, I'm not worried about them. I don't really go against them. I do get upset once in a while, and I'll say something like, if you think you're going to get away in an underground secret base with your own private starship, you can put that idea behind. The minute you get outside of this beautiful planet Earth and get outside of this global system or atmosphere, one little thing's going to go wrong in that little sneak away craft. And that's the Great Spirit's way of getting rid of all of you that betrayed the human race. You're gone. Nobody gets away with nothing. That's why we got to be careful with what we say, you know, and that's as far as I'll go on that, you know, because it is what it is right now, and I just trust God and everything, and I love everybody, and anytime somebody burns me or something or takes advantage of me, I end up getting a new toy to play with, whether it's going to work in Chaco Canyon or finding the treasure down over here or whatever, or an ancient sacred site that's only 6 miles from this house that measures the equinox. All those cool pictures are at Darrell F. Lopes. You have to put the F in between my name, Darrell F. Lopes. That's Facebook, and that's all good colored shots that were real-time shots that were taken there at the ancient 2,100-year-old vortex site back on the Norway Spyro Day, and also back when I moved up here and we were hiking and I located that. Beautiful. There's nothing more relaxing and beautiful to see these great big stones that were regular stones that were put into place. You want to talk about grounding your spirit to the earth and just feeling alive, and what was going on back then, and how in the heck, by the way, did they move these great big stones of 6,000 pounds? This was way before the Indians were hunter-gatherers. They were too busy looking for food. This was the ancient ones. So this book really needs to get out, and even if you just pass it on and you don't want to buy it, pass it on to somebody, but to let them know. I'd appreciate that, because I've spent $6,000 on the book and $6,000 on going on these podcasts, and I'm trying to get this out, and I come to a point where I don't want to spend any more money. Eventually, I'm just going to go disappear again like I did in 2011. But I want this to get out, because I'm fighting now for the people who love UFOs and understand that, and the people who love God. And to know that we need to work together, and there's things that were taken out of the Bible, and you need to face up with it. And that's my kind of upsetness with the church, because they left a bunch of stuff out, like Enoch getting raptured up. They took Enoch out of it, and it's because he was taken around and in the heavens and gone for a long time. They showed him what these planets meant and all that. They're not all the devil. Not to say I want to go join their crowd. You know what I mean? I don't want to serve an Anunnaki that we know that they were half human and half something else. You are like a small God G with a small g. You know what I mean? You have all the power inside of you. And to change timelines, and all you have to do is what's right. But if we all go down Poop Alley and just let our lives go and do whatever we think we can do, and the world's a big playground, well, then we're going to suffer from this stuff, and that's what the Native Americans have been crying out to us all these years. Take care of the earth, love each other, stop judging one another, yeah. My heart goes out to the Native Americans, and I talk a lot about them in the book, and being spirit brother to them, the Hopi tribe, and it's a humbling experience, And I'm learning, the more and more I learn, brother, the more and more I realize I don't know absolutely nothing. I am learning. We all are,
Yes, sir. Well, Darrell, we are coming to the end of our segment. I would need to get you on another show, man, because I believe you can dive deep, and there's a lot to discuss. I mean, you lived a fantastic life.
Thank you.
And still live a fantastic life.
Yeah.
And I would love to know more and pick your brain about, the intricacies of the Bible. Like, it says Enoch walked with God and he was no more. I was like, what do you mean he was no more? And then there's an entire book by Enoch.
That's right. And that he was his favorite. That's what ticks me off. It says in there, he was my favorite. Well, why did you take him out of the Bible? Exactly. So what they were doing is covering up, but they weren't thinking about this generation now that's dealing with these little rascals buzzing around, doing whatever they want, an underground basis and everything else. Exactly. Haven't messed with me too much. I don't know about this business being hit in the gut with that scalar weapon, whether it was a antidote to keep me alive, because I did make it through the COVID thing. I knew exactly what my ESP is off the charts. I knew right away. I'm glad nobody wasn't on a podcast, because what was coming out of my mouth, besides throwing up, was the most filthiest language. I was ready I was so sick and upset because what they did that to us, and I knew exactly where it was coming from and what they did. I go way back with my dowsing charts about working with these bats in a cave and all that business with Magellan's disease, all man-made stuff. We got to stop this stuff. And these people that are in Congress that are still making $500,000 a year being run around in a limousine, what is going on with us? Get those people and put them in jail. High treason. Stop candy coating everything, This is horrible. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and now we as a people together, a collective mind, have to choose what is right and what is wrong. Yeah. I'm sorry I chalk up a storm because I've been hanging on to all this stuff since 1983, and it got really heavy duty with the Nibiru planet thing. And here I am sitting here, an eyewitness, and you can imagine, my brother Denny, if this was you, and you saying, man, you ain't believe what I just saw, what came down, and then nobody would listen to you. You either got to have all these degrees, or you got to be in the military before they pay attention to you. Well, I pay attention to the Hopi tribe. Some of them never even went to school. They know more prophecy than anybody up there at the 1st, 2nd, 3rd Mesa. Praise the Lord. I love those people. Closest thing to Jesus I've ever met was the Hopi tribe. Awesome. Love the earth. Love everything. Love people. Put themselves last. Put human beings first in the land. And now we're starting to realize how powerful and energetic it is with just rocks and energy. I've had the rocks talk to me. That's how I found that on Obama's Peace Award Day. That's why I found the ditch in the book. There's pictures and good color pictures at this Darrell Lopes. I'd love to be on again sometime, brother. I really enjoy your courtesy, your kindness, and like I said, love your name. And we're connected. It had to mean something because I said, look his name up. And your name was a lover of the earth. And I thought, my God, this man, he must be connected somehow. And now you're telling me that your family inheritance were connected to the land. It's awesome, brother. It's a privilege to talk to you and be on the show. I could almost have tears coming out of my eyes. You get older and you get emotional and you love life more and more and realize how special people are and all the dumb mistakes I made in my life, and you just try to keep getting better and better. It does get better, like you were saying earlier with the other gentleman. And I hope him to do well with his music too, to keep going on. He knows what to do deep down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So where can they connect with you on the internet, and where can they purchase a copy of the book?
Well, I don't have a internet site because I don't want to kick out any more cash. So they can get a hold of me at Darrell, Darrell, F, for Frank, my dad's name, Lopes, Lopes, on Facebook. And the book is at Amazon and all the rest, And I have to say, the Audible book, my God, at least get the Audible book. He did such a beautiful job. The young man was so darn talented. He was a young actor, a handsome young man, and really with an energy that just, he rivets you. He did such a great job, and it's cheap on the Audible book. And I met a lot of good people who run that Audible book. Ellie Skinover, beautiful woman. Just helpful, kind. You can hear the love of God in her voice. There's a lot of good people out there, brother, including you.
Thank you.
And a lot of the people you know. I'm happy that you're doing what you're doing and reaching out to people and giving them a chance to be open-minded, thinking it's time that we listen to each other,
Absolutely.
and grow. Yeah, so the book's on there at Amazon, and I don't tell many of them. It's just like it's real hard to get out because it's all built on ratings now. It just gets buried, So I am trying to get out there, and hopefully people that listen to this will say, hey, maybe I will get at least the Audible book, and then you can go to Facebook. You can see all my stuff, digging up dinosaur bones, and back in 2006, we're running the desert to Arizona. Here's my own rig, bought a brand new in '84, and I would just pull over and start digging, because I dowse and stuff. I pick up things with dowsing. And I'm showing me hanging on the dinosaur bones and stuff, just trying to prepare for people to, the archaeologists, whatever. But I was warned by the old blind man that, hey, You're a freelance archaeologist just like I am, and they'll never listen to you. Most of those sites are set up because it's a financial thing. They need a certain amount of money to run that dig site. And so I've been humiliated, hung up on, and just so furious that you just want to have a good cry, because you're sitting on this. It's like, well, what, can we not work together? Can't Israel work together with their neighbors? My God, what does God have to do with that going on over there? Nothing. He's saying, wake up. Wake up and start loving your brother and sharing, and get that chip off your shoulder and realize that's your brother over there, to start treating him kind. Stop killing children. It's got nothing to do with God. So, see, I'm a Christian, brother, but I'm not like the norm. You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed.
I will just tell people this, and this is the way I'm doing it. I don't go to church much more. I got nothing against it. I'll go now and then, and I love it when I'm there. There's a lot of lovely people there. But we've got so much to uncover, all of us together, to grow, that, it's just important stuff. So I would appreciate any help with the book, or at least pass it on so somebody else could watch the video. I have my really good video with Logan Crawford there that I did on the Facebook page. And then I give away the secret of Machu Picchu up there with the Intihuatana site, the Itchy Post of the Sun, and I describe what that is. That's a mind blower. And that one came out really good. And then the other one I just did, and I having a struggle getting this up on Facebook, was with the other brother that I did. His name's off time right now, but it was a good one too. Right. And yeah, it was a good one too. And Zach Feldman, nice man. Yeah. And I did the Zach Feldman show, and it was a blessing, And he appreciated kind of learning about stuff, that it's just people like myself have been involved in since the 1982, and we got a lot to share and feel it's time to come out, And so we just hang in there with it, like you say, and roll with the punches, Yeah. But, yeah, I really enjoyed talking with you. Maybe we can hook up again sometime.
Let's do that.
Thank you for all the help too with you getting it out. You got a nice station here, and a good man to be pouring your heart out like that, man. And it's not just thrown aside. It's going to come back to you, brother. It's going to come back to you in love and blessings and everything else. Just count on it.
I received that, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. This is the truth. It comes back on you, and that's the way I run my trucking business. And I went to the top, and people loved me, and the bosses, and because I was honest, so I parked my truck because I owned it, and I started cleaning up the job site. What the heck is wrong with this guy? He's supposed to be going home, and he's worried about cleaning up our place. He doesn't care. I don't. There's more things in life than money. This is what I learned from the Hopi. There's responsibility and just being a human being, like the Lakota, okay? And we've got a group called Northwest Treasure Solvers, where we know where Drake's Hoard is on the coast, West Coast, but I need a dependable archaeological that's not going to sell us out or do anything of that. It's on federal grounds. There's a lot of things, brother, in book band and stuff, just absolutely unbelievable stuff. As much as the Nibiru thing, and these things have always happened. I know we're probably running out of time, so I don't want to push you into going too far with that. But yeah, I really enjoyed talking with you. And
likewise, yes, sir.
When I had my Ormus business, you can just Google Calaveras. That's the county where I'm in. CalaverasAlchemy.com, and I've got 2 videos on there where I'm talking about things that in this book years before the book was even made, about the local sites around here. Yeah, I used to make some really good Ormus salad all over the world. I met some beautiful people that worked for Monsanto, and they called me up in their hearts, and they were crying and telling all the stuff that was going down, and just they had lost their dog, and it just affected them, just different things with all that, and they could see that I was a loving person and actually cared about them. And you can tell when someone's like that, you know. It's easy to read somebody if they want to hear and listen, you know. And to do with Monsanto and simple ex-retired scientists from Texas that would tell me, no, I use that Utah salt up there in the Redmond's mine. It's got the most rhodium in it. That'll help darken hair up and everything else. Ormus is a good product. I don't really sell it anymore. I mean, I do have some of the old customer calls, and I'll whip some up, but it's all for the deer. And me, they love it. The animals. Oh, yeah. So when you learn how to make that, you know, that's cool. Or sometimes you call me on the phone, and I'll tell you how to make it and save yourself some money. But if it's made right, it's made out of Dead Sea Skull. Dead Sea Skull has the most gold in it. And that's who was after the gold, too. The Anunnaki were after the gold. But they started out getting gold in the ocean, and they didn't produce enough. So then they started in with the African mines down there and digging those ancient mines down by Adam's calendar, you know, those ancient monolithic sites, and digging the gold. Well, I saw that gold with my own eyes. It was the most beautiful thing I ever seen, to see the sky filled with swirling gold particles, electrified, and whizzing like an out-of-control tornado, jamming up over that sun. I was in such awe. I was speechless. I couldn't even really talk. I should have pulled him over, the trucker next to me, and said, let me have your phone number, you know, but it just wasn't God's will. I was like in shock, and I just nodded my head and gave him a good hand wave, and both of us just picked our speeds back up and went on home, you know. Both of us heading westbound in Tonopah, Arizona. Never forget that. I need no notes to talk to anybody about it. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. What an incredible conversation with Darrell Lopes. You know, he dives deep into his treasure hunting adventures, ancient discoveries, and the profound themes explored in his book, A Real Witness to Planet Nibiru, Crossing and Real Parallel Time Slip, Trusting Yeshua. We discussed his journey. We know that faith in God is a big part of what he do and how he lived his life. And hopefully you guys who are listening, that's a big part of your life as well. And extraordinary phenomenon that he has encountered. So thank you so much, Darrell. We have to get to our next guest. It was a pleasure having you on. And we're looking forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
God bless you, too. Thank you.
Take care. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Hey, what's up, long time? I forgot to mention that, oh, by the way, this is Deanie, you know, Vigilantes Radio Live, VP of Operations for Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, Only One Theory dropped a new single. It is called La Jefecita. It's on Spotify. As a matter of fact, it's on all major platforms. You should check it out right now. Oh, and by the way, there's also a visual on YouTube. It's hot. Check it out today. OnlyOneTheory.com. Check that out too. Peace. Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio Live. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab it from either Spreaker.com/Only One Media Group, Spotify, Castbox, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, the app Podcast Addict, or over at our website, which again is onlyonemediagroup.com, and that goes for every single show that we've ever aired. If you like to request some music or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. That is V as in Victor. And here's my disclaimer: we are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, scratch all of that, because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it.
Just kidding. On behalf of myself, Denny, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Snapchat, TikTok, at all social media sites, as well as Spreaker, YouTube. We always follow back. Okay, well, just remember to put yourself into everything that you do and never stop investing in yourself. Peace, love, grilled cheese, and talk with you later.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black-Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.
What's up, guys? It's Dini, and I want to welcome you on a journey of the heart and of the mind. These Fucking Feelings podcast is a beacon in the world of mental health advocacy, and it invites you to join a conversation that's changing lives. We are here to share, listen, and grow together. Led by the passionate Michael Bravery, alongside the insightful Rebecca and Crystal. This award-winning podcast dives deep into the human experience, from navigating relationships to coping with loss. No topic is off limits. It's about real stories and real emotions. These Fucking Feelings is more than just a show. It's a community, a place where vulnerable isn't just accepted, it's celebrated. You can find it across major platforms, including YouTube and Facebook Watch. This podcast is a touchstone for anyone seeking understanding and support. These Fucking Feelings podcast, where every emotion is valid and every story matters. Tune in and transform the way you see mental health.